We're back in the creative world. If you saw the last video, we built a secret library over there. Today we are going to build this medieval looking tower. We're actually building 6, but I'm going to show you how to build 1. So, we already have the foundation of 3 blocks. So basically, I'm going to be using stone brick, mossy stone brick. You can use any 2 blocks you want. It's, in my opinion, best to use blocks that kind of match each other, but you'll also need them to be different if you want it to look its best. So each one of these towers is 7 blocks across, 11 blocks to that middle point. So when you're building them in survival mode, that's what you're going to kind of want to remember. So we already have 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you're going to bring that across to meet your other column. These are very, very, very easy to build in survival mode. I have, in fact, built everything that we'll be building in this creative world in survival mode. And we'll have tutorial videos for most of the stuff we build. But your interior block is going to basically fill this whole interior except for where your window is going to be. One block in around those columns that you built. So you're going to have this and a window. You're going to run your upside down stair. So if you don't know, you're going to put it on the top of the block and it will automatically go to an upside down stair. Each of these are 3. You're going to put your stair facing inward, just like that. And have a matching block there. Stair, stair. That is actually a little different. But I might like this better. You would have to put another one here. Maybe it's not better. Tough decision, guys. Tough decision. Yeah, we'll do it the same. Anyway, we're only going to do the window on these two sides, because this side is going to have a gate, and this side's going to have the wall over here. So these two sides, we're going to just fill in blank, do the window here and here, and then on the second tier we'll do the window all the way around. Right on that block. And you're just gonna run your upside down stair that's the same as the block that you're using for the frame of your buildings. Very, very, very easy. Obviously more difficult in survival mode, but I have done it in survival mode. I can show you on the second tier, possibly, how I would do it in survival mode. You want to kind of build it up as you're going, so you're going to want to bring all your supplies up the tower with you. And you can kind of stack and walk across a lot of different types of blocks, like the glass panes. You can walk along the edges of them. So again, the second tier, your windowsill is 3. Up on the bottom, but just 2 up. Just enough to get it above the fence post. But you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the second tier. Because you got 1 less. 7 and 11, 7 and 10. Now this first row, you could do it, you know, this way, so it's going to be exactly how it looks, but you're actually not going to see that block really. So if you wanted to, you could just put all of the same on this row. You could even just use cobblestone if you wanted to save the stone brick if you were in survival. Not really gonna see it anyway because of the fence posts. But well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, we're building just around the frame, which I think I did, but we'll find out. So this time we're obviously building all 4 windows because it's this wall, these walls are only going to come up to that first tier. You can see how you can kind of stand there on the glass plane panes. And so right above your fence post, just bring in these. Straight across your middle part. 1, 2, 3. Your stair. your block there. Your stair, your slab on the top of that block, and your fence post. And we're good to go there. Again, we're gonna just upside down stair the top block there. Creative mode is too fast sometimes. And so that's basically it. If you wanted to run a If you wanted to be able to use these towers, you could just run a pillar up here, build a staircase, or just throw a ladder right on this wall over here. And just put a door down on the bottom. We're just using them for decoration on these 4 towers. We will make a tower that has a staircase in it, in the center of that castle. But for your roof, all you're gonna need is whatever color roof you want, and then a block and a matching stair. Nope. So you got a row of blocks in there. You're just gonna run stairs across the top of those blocks. You can break that if you want, but like I said, if you're not using the inside of this tower, you could just leave that there. It doesn't really matter. You're not gonna see it anyway. You're just repeating the same step each time. Until you get to the very top. I think we only went 1 here. Apologize for the weather. And that is basically it. Now when you're in survival mode, all you really want to do is remember, you know, the numbers that you used for everything. So we know that this windowsill is up 3 blocks, and it's up 2 blocks on the second tier. And each of these is 3 blocks, and then you have the stair, you know, the stair. If you remember those numbers, because obviously in survival you're not going to be able to fly, so you want to kind of build it as you're going up. So imagine these 3 blocks, you know, we're not here, and I'm in survival mode. You're going to kind of build it up as you're going along. So we're here, you know, if we didn't have walls on these sides, we'd be putting, you know, the window, and you just crouch, you know, and you can place it right on the top like that. And obviously you're going to want some kind of a, you know, an extra block. I use dirt blocks, and just stack the dirt block up as you go along. And then you can just, you know, climb down the dirt block. So I'd build this. You can use the scaffolding, obviously, as well. But you know these are 3, and you also know that that tower is 11 blocks high. So you're going up 11 blocks. And we already have 3. So 4, 5, 6. So now we know we're at, you know, block number 6. And you can just put the glass down as you walk along. Obviously you'd continue to build this up as you go. I'm not going to do that because we're in creative mode. We actually wouldn't have put glass on either of these, but for purposes of demonstration, I put them there. And you wouldn't also, obviously, you got no window frame on the first one. So you remember we're up 6. It will help you to remember what number you're on by using things like this where you know it's 3. So you know that you did 3. And usually after you build one, you can always look back at this tower as a reference point, but you can stand right on the fence post. You always want to bring a lot of supplies up too in survival mode, because it's really frustrating to be doing it, you know, like this, and then have to go, you know, back down just to get more of something and stack back up. It's best to be over prepared. In survival mode. But I think you can see how you just kind of build up as you're going, and you just have to obviously, you know, remember what you're doing, even if you have to just write it down until you've perfected something. It's best to have some kind of a plan for what you're going to do before you do it. And if you're trying to build multiple towers that are exactly the same, that's going to help you a ton. Because sometimes you can't always look. Like if we were in survival mode and I didn't know how to do this, and I'm looking over at this tower, so I'm trying to copy it, it's kind of hard to see exactly how many blocks you used. Some of them, you know, you can figure it out, but you're going to be really irritated when you build a whole entire tower, and then you look at it from afar, and you realize, you know, that it's 1 block off or 2 blocks off. And you have to go back up and redo it. The only thing when you're building these towers too in survival mode that you can't do while stacking up is putting those lanterns. So unless you wanted to just put the lantern like on top instead of hanging, you're gonna have to stack up later to put those on, because there's no way to reach the bottom side of that fence. You know, and again, your block, it doesn't really matter on this particular row. You know what you do, because you can't see it. But, you know, your second row of the tower is too high where you're going to put your window. So you're just going to crouch and reach over. You just have to be a little careful, because you'll actually walk onto the fences. And if you back up too far, I think you'll fall off the fence. I'm not... No, I guess not. But still, when you're in survival mode, I have fallen off more towers than I can count. When crouching, be very careful of when you're on half slabs or stairs. And you can also see there's 4 window panes before it goes up. Just little reference points. You can see we've got 3. So this 4th one is going to be our last one before we come across one. And then you know, your stair. You know, and that's your completed window. It obviously takes a little bit longer, but it's not that hard to do. On survival mode, you just have to obviously be careful not to get yourself killed falling off of here. But a little crouching. It's not really that much different. Than building it in survival mode. And like I said, I built all of the stuff in survival mode. Many times. That fool. And I'll be doing a video soon on my survival world and show you guys, you know, what I've accomplished in that. And you'll see a lot of these builds from here when you see the survival world. So if you want to take a look at the survival world, you know, stay tuned. I'll probably upload it sometime in the next few days. I'm trying to finish a project in that. Before we do a little world tour. Now if we had built our dirt block up with us, we'd just be able to walk right off onto it. That fall would obviously have killed you. But there you have it, folks. All you'd have to do is stack yourself up and put those lanterns on. So just imagine you've stacked yourself up in survival and put those on there. Those are our towers, folks. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it was helpful. You can build these in your survival worlds. If you hate it, I'm sorry. But hopefully you still enjoyed watching the build. I'll see you guys.